this big disappointment, huge disappointment for someone like me. When you take two of my favorite things that I'm passionate about in life, being one anime and two cooking. I was in the restaurant industry for roughly 13 to 14 years of my life. Worked my way up from freaking kitchen hand to cook to sous chef. Studied 4 years in commercial cookery. Um, Moved around multiple restaurants from Mexicans to Italians to Greek restaurants. Um, Left the industry in the end for my own reasons. It's a very tiring industry, and by the time I left, it's because I started to hate my job. I still loved cooking. When I'm at home, I love cooking in the kitchen by myself, cooking for myself with listening to music. It's one of the most relaxing things I can do. So that was one out of many reasons why I left. But in regards to this anime and food, well, if you're an anime fan, you know the show Food Wars. And if we're being dead honest, I love this show. I even got the manga. I've bought hard copies of the manga. They're sitting on my shelf over there. One very good reason why I buy the hard copies of the manga is that some, not all of them, but very unique recipes that are displayed in the show are put in the manga. So you can just like flip it open like a cookbook, find the recipe, go out, buy the ingredients, and cook this shit at home for yourself, and get a gist of what it would taste like. And for the most part, note I am not shitting on seasons 1 to 4 of. I'm pretty sure. Hang on. Yep, seasons 1 to 4 are fine. Each season brings a certain growth to the characters in regards to how they cook, what's their oncoming challenge, where they're getting inspiration from. You really see them growing as people. And if you're anywhere up to date with Food Wars, season 5, I can tell you, is just going to be garbage off the bat. It's fucking garbage. It's only 2 episodes in. I've just finished watching episode 2. I give you the blue preliminaries. One thing I'll just get off my back that's pissing me off already with the show, and the show kind of was guilty of this in season 4, but it didn't do it as much as season 5. The large majority of season 5 is just still frames. The majority of the show is friggin' still frames. You're looking at about 70% of your show. Even the intro is still frames. It's not so much an animation as it's a majority of a collection of images. That whichever studio is backing these cunts knew that season 4 was going to be the last good season. They knew that season 5 is just a repetitive piece of garbage, and they must have either withdrew their budget or with the whole coronavirus thing going on, it's just like they couldn't be bothered animating anything, so they just like, oh, picture, zoom out slowly, or twist the camera to the right as you look at this still frame. It's that's just annoying. The second part is the cooking aspect, especially this episode 2 has just pissed me off to all hell. The cooking aspect is gone. The lessons and the terminology that you've learned up to this point, especially with season four's ending. Season four's ending's big lesson was you can cook a fantastic dish. You can be the best cook that you can be. But how are you going to get better? Well, if you're in teams, just say you're sending out the entree first. The entree can be fantastic, but the way to make the main course better is that specifically it's designed around the entree to complement it, to grow. The dishes need to complement themselves in very odd and fantastic ways. They highlighted that, and straight off in this, the whole teamwork and complementing dishes, the listing of ingredients. That's one thing the previous seasons used to do. They used to dive in and be like, this is the reason, this ingredient complements this set to a specific time limit, and this specific way of cooking is all the result of why this dish is actually fantastic. Then you get to the blue preliminaries in season 5, episode 2. They rarely describe what ingredients actually go into the dishes, like the fuckers that are winning the top 3 positions. Let's just say that the main character, Soma, he gets in. His dish makes no fucking sense. He's basically got like five. They look like eggs, but they're not. They got like a gelatin that's holding the insides together, and inside one's a hamburger. Inside one is salmon. Inside one is this, and you're just like, if you put these 5 mini dishes on a plate in front of me, and then you expect me to eat salmon, then a hamburger, then this, none of these salmon and hamburgers doesn't complement itself at all. Why does it complement itself? Did you put something into the hamburger and something into the salmon so that they complement? You don't usually eat this shit together, and you don't know what ingredients actually made it so that they actually do complement themselves. And if you did have the list of ingredients and you tried it in real life, which is a staple mark of this show, they can't tell you what the hell you're doing to actually make it possible. All that's gone. In fact, what was it? The chick that win, the blue haired chick, and this became the most obvious fucking shit that the blue haired chick was gonna bloody get through. Because everyone else's dishes, they're giving you a brief summary of what the dish is to a certain extent without actually listing the ingredients. But the blue haired bitch, oh, hers looks boring. Cut to the next person. Then at the end, oh, wonder who the top 3 is? Oh, she's number 1. Who would have knew? Oh, wait. It's because they never described her fucking dish. Of course she fucking won. Now we can describe the dish. And you describe the dish, and it's basically like 10 different versions of seafood miso soup. So you got your prawn miso soup, you got your bloody tuna miso soup, and you just realize you would never serve this together. Some seafoods do go well together, as the fact that you can make a seafood chowder. Not all seafoods go together. You can't just go, I picked the 10 most rarest seafoods in the ocean, put them into little bowls, and then you just drink from each one, and it's gonna taste fucking fantastic. It doesn't fucking work like that. One could be an extremely strong taste that absolutely fucks up the rest of them. That's my problem with it. Oh, and I will mention who came second. This one made me laugh because the whole time I'm watching the fucking episode, I'm just like, what's the point of showing his brother? The Italian brothers, the Tadini brothers or whatever. I'm like, oh, you got the younger brother who was once fat, is now fucking thin. He's a challenge. I'm like, he's not a fucking challenge. He's a side character. He's gonna fucking lose his blonde brother Bimbo is gonna get in. And his blonde bimbo brother's dish is so fucking boring as it's described. And they're acting like, oh, this is redefining the industry. It's a part of the stinking show. This is what they say. Oh, dipping cheese into melted cheese. Revolutionary! And I'm like, Jesus fucking Christ, you can go down to Domino's and you get mozzarella on a fucking pizza with cheesy stuffed crust. Cheese on cheese! All you've done is taken melted cheese fondue and said, instead of sticking bread in the fondue, I'm gonna stick cheese in the fondue and eat it. Surrounded by that, oh, I got tomato soup. So I got tomato soup with cheese fondue in the middle, and you can take the cheese from the tomato soup and you dip it in that, and oh my god! What's in the tomato soup? What makes it a great tomato soup? Do you have garlic in there? Do you have rosemary? Do you have thyme? What the fuck did you do that makes this tomato soup better from fucking canned tomato soup down at the store? You don't friggin' tell us. And then you're like, okay, the cheeses that you're using. They have to be specific cheeses to complement each other like really well. Like, are you using feta? Are you using camembert? Are you using mozzarella? What brie? Blue cheese? What the fuck are the cheeses? Oh, It's cheese A and cheese B. Like, this show has gone full fucking retard. Over, like, it's. And I'm not shitting on 1 to 4. I'm complimenting 1 to 4. I'm saying season 5 has started off and you can tell they just don't give a fuck. It's like, it's less about the food now and more about how many naked people can you show on the fucking screen going nuts to boring ass food that they're not describing. And this is kind of disappointing, like, considering this is on Crunchyroll. I'm trying to keep my Crunchyroll premium account, but at this point, I'm looking like I don't want to watch season 5 of this fucking show. And right now, Crunchyroll, with the exception of like Tower of God and Fruit Basket, it's like I don't want to watch it. It's like it's got two shows this season that I actually want to watch, and it lost Kaguya-sama to fucking Funimation. It lost a lot to Funimation, and Funimation's been a cunt, where they're only airing their exclusive shit to like 2 countries in the world, and the rest of the world's like, oh, to Kiss Anime, we're gonna have to bloody pirate this shit because Funimation's fucking us over, and Crunchyroll's got their heads up their ass. Oh, so disappointing. To love anime, to love cooking, have a show that's been so detailed about how you cook just turn into a bunch of fucking retards with the main thing of the show. It's like, am I going to be able to make that tomato and cheese soup? No. Why? Because we don't know what's in the tomato soup, we don't know what cheeses they're using, we don't know why, but the show's telling us it's fantastic and I don't buy into it. Fucking garbage episode.